standing by to bring you the very latest in the world of sports. Morning, Simbi.
Good morning, Kunle. It's good to see you live in person.
Oh, yeah.
After 3 weeks or 2 weeks thereabout. Yes.
Yeah, the National Sports Festival took you away.
Yeah, but it was still work duties, but it was good to be back again.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Thank you. All right, welcome to KAKAKI Sport. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and happy holidays to all our Muslim friends and faithfuls all around the world. Well, on today's edition of KAKAKI Sports, we'll be looking at top stories that made headlines in the world of sport, beginning with the French Open, talking about the men's final where Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner went head-to-head in a very competitive game there, but Carlos Alcaraz finishing top there against world number one. From there, we'll also review the Nations League final between Portugal and Spain as we anticipate the FIFA World Cup coming up in 2026. We'll also then turn our attention to the Flamingos as they gear up for the 2025 World Cup, Women's World Cup in Morocco, October, where we'll be assessing their group and chances to do better than their 2022 third place finish. Also on the radar for discussion, if time permits, we'll look at the international friendly of the Supereagles, that's the post-match analysis. And of course, as we look forward to the final phase of the World Cup qualifiers later this year. Well, I'm not here alone as always, and I'm being joined by Nonso Arinzechi as we'll be discussing on all the issues that went down during the weekend and perhaps in the world of sports generally as it concerns Nigeria and football lovers and sports lovers. Good morning, Nonso, and welcome to KAKAKI Sports.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here again.
Yes, I mean, it's good to see you again. So quickly, Nonso, let's get right into it. The French Open final, first of all, it happened earlier Sunday.
Yeah.
We saw Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner, world number one and the defending champion. They're going head-to-head. It was quite an intense one. But your thoughts on this victory for Carlos Alcaraz against Yannick Sinner, who has actually, proven himself in the last couple of years?
I think for Alcaraz, it's a big one. He's been touted to be the man to replace Rafael Nadal as the king of clay. And from what we saw yesterday, it shows that he's got the ability to do so. For the first time in his career, from 2 sets down, he came back to win the game. No player has done that since setting Novak Djokovic against Roger Federer in 2009. He was also, from a game set match, it was a match set, and then he came back to win the game. Tells you how dogged he is, He seems to love playing a clay, like I said, the Rafa Nadal factor, but give it to Yannick Sinner. It's not world number one for nothing. I think he had a great game, but again, powerhouse, fighting it out. But for Alcaraz, it means a lot to him. Grand Slam again, his fifth Grand Slam, major one for him. For Sinner, he looks a bit much rusty, I must tell you, because after his ban, returning back to tennis wasn't. He expected him to bounce into the big stage and then win. But like I said, Alcaraz, what a player he is, I tell you. And the fact that he's got a lot of years ahead of him, who knows? He could break the record of Djokovic, 23 major Grand Slam. But come on, man, there's a lot of years for this guy to play, and I think the future is bright with Spanish tennis.
All right, talking about Alcaraz, I mean, the very significant thing I picked from it is the fact that, talk about Novak Djokovic, and he won this title exactly the same age as his idol, Novak Djokovic, 22 years old. I mean, do you think that's something he will live, to remember for a very long time, perhaps going into the next Grand Slam?
Heading into this tournament, he was been under massive pressure. People said, oh, this is his time. There is no Roger Federer. There is no Rafa Nadal. I think the last man standing is Novak Djokovic.
Yes.
And even after he lost to Yannick Sinner in the semifinals, he said this may be his last dance. But wow, the boy, stood the test of time. I mean, I must agree that Yannick Sinner had a tougher route to the final. But come on, the rules states that you beat what's said before you. And the guy has done the job, beat Muset, who had to pull out due to injury, and then got to the final and come from 2 sets down. It's unprecedented. Like I said, never happened before. Last time it did happen was far back as 2009. What a player he is. I think you absolutely body. Yeah.
Indeed. Congratulations to, of course, Carlos Alcaraz for clinching that one there, his 5th major Grand Slam title in tennis. And we hope that he will live up to his idol as he hopes to break records in the process. But now let's move away from tennis now to football. The Nations League. I mean, the much talked about game happened yesterday. I mean, some people were saying it is Ronaldo versus Lamine Yamal. It's no longer Portugal versus Spain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Portugal versus Spain for the final Nations League. And Portugal clinched that one 5-3 on penalties.
Yep.
Your thoughts on this, and perhaps what you think this means for Ronaldo and also for Lamine Yamal going into the World Cup 2026?
It doesn't change anything. Yamal has got a perfect future ahead of him. The boy is 19 years of age. He's won this cup before. He won the Euros as well, a very tender age. He's got a bright future. Come on, Ronaldo is 40 for crying out loud. You can't be.
I mean,
it's the future.
why are you saying it like that?
I just want it's the past, but it's the future.
Yeah.
Ronaldo has seen it all done. I don't think he's won this title before. His second time he's winning it. He's won the Euros as well. The only thing that's highlighted Ronaldo is the World Cup, and I don't think it will be difficult for him to do that in the United States of America.
So you think that whole GOAT conversation should come to an end?
No, it's come on, man. Yeah, I think it's a lot of, like I keep saying, the World Cup is the it factor for me. Messi, Pele, Maradona, the top Zidane, Thierry Henry, the big names have won the World Cup. I know he hasn't won it, but that doesn't take anything away from him. I think he's an absolute legend when it comes to, but he has been unlucky with the World Cup. But what a player. We saw that yesterday, 40 years of age. I know you say, oh, most of people say, oh, he's getting scoring tappings, but come on, you have to be in the right position to score those goals. And he sniffs at chances, he's way at the right place at the right time, and he gets the goal. For Portugal, like I said, there's some new players coming up, Vitinha, Joao Neves, that guy, Nuno Mendes, absolute gutsy. You know, the people say he played against Salah at the Champions League and quiet and silenced him, and he did a beautiful work against Lamine Yamal yesterday. So Portugal deserves to be champions, but again, Spain gave it a whole, gave it a push. Don't forget, the coach De La Fuente of Spain would have become the first manager in history to win his first three competitive competition. He's won first won the Copa, the Nations League. He won the Euro. If I won it, I won 3 straight, but it wasn't to be for him. Ronaldo again, another international trophy, but again, we're still waiting for him to win that World Cup. Maybe
the World Cup is just next year, and then Ronaldo is actually came out to say some days ago that he's not going to be playing in the FIFA Club World Cup. And with rumors circulating that he's going to be signing one of the clubs participating, he said no, he's not playing there. And then people are now saying most likely he's going to retire after the World Cup. Do you think you share that sentiment?
I think he has nothing to prove anymore. He's a fantastic player. Like I said, he's going to be in the history books every day of the week and twice on Sunday. You can't talk about football without Ronaldo. You talk about Portuguese football without Ronaldo. You talk about English football. So in every top league, he's dropped his footprint. So for me, he has nothing to prove. If he goes to the World Cup, it doesn't happen for him. Come on, man. How long can he go? After the World Cup, he'll be 41, going for the 2.
Yes, indeed. I don't think he'll make it to the next World Cup. But then we hope that we'll see what happens at come 2026 as Portugal will also be in that World Cup, hopefully. And then Argentina will be defending that title, of course. That's the GOAT conversation continues in 2026. But now let's come back home now to Nigeria. The Flamingos. I mean, when we talk about Nigerian football, women have been bringing laurels home, you know, making the nation proud in terms of football in Nigeria. The Flamingos are going into the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup coming up in October. Let's talk about the group. Do you see the Flamingos going past their record, 2022 record, in 3rd place finish?
They have to. I think for Bankole Lokere, he needs to succeed that. You know, this is his 3rd World Cup. You know, the first one he got a bronze medal. Last time he was dumped out. You know, by the United States. I'm not in the quarterfinals, and now
Germany in the
quarterfinals. So he needs to see. You know, one thing about success is this: you now become let's say a victim of your own success. He has a yardstick. He has to be better than the 3rd place. Maybe get to the final. Maybe he has to do it because you can't be there for so long a time and then there's a diminishing return. At some point, the NFF or the fans will call for his head. So he's got some good crop of players. Right of those players who played last time out, Aisha, Nima Shao, Chidi, Harmony. He's got some beautiful players, goalkeeper as well, Joma, who plays in the Nigerian Premier Women Football League, and of course some other young chaps, including Joma. So for me, he's got a good team. Not forgetting Shukurat Moshood. I can't forget that girl. She got the best goal at the last World Cup. So for me, it's a fantastic team. We've got a fantastic manager. He knows these girls very well. The good thing is that he's been there for some time. So there is what we call a progression. There's an understanding. And these girls, like I said, majority of them played in the last World Cup. So they are a rich experience. So Canada, France, Samoa.
Looking at this is the group. France, Canada, and Samoa, Nigeria there.
I was doing my permutation. I felt like, okay, we get 3 points from Canada. We get 3 points from Samoa. And if we can't beat France, we go through as one of the best top 2 teams. So it's about qualification. You know, in the group stage, it's all about getting to the next stage. And then you take it from one step at a time. So for me, I don't doubt the quality of the girls to get past this group. My problem is it's always been after the group stage, what next? Because in the group stage, it's a knockout phase. You don't step up and get knocked out. Simple as that. It's very unforgiving. You don't hit.
You don't have a second chance.
Absolutely. So I think they'll get out
right. So fingers crossed for Team Nigeria. But they are in Group D alongside Canada, France, and Samoa. They're in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, and this kick off in October. Hopefully, they'll go past their 3rd place finish in 2022. But now to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I mean, we know that the friendlies are almost done and dusted. The one we want to talk about now, the post-match analysis, precisely with the one in Russia, where they shared out the 1-0 draw scores there. Nigeria Super Eagles, that friendly, and then the games ahead in preparations for the FIFA World Cup qualifiers resuming. What do you make of the performance of the team? after that game?
I think the coach has made it clear. He said there's a lot of work to be done. I don't think the team played well, and he shares my own sentiment as well. Like I always say, it's a friendly game. This is an opportunity for the coach to chop change, experiment, get a new group of players. If you want to make mistakes, this is the point. You can't make those mistakes. But come on, some of those mistakes can be suicidal. I tried to go considered by Nigeria by Diongo by some logo Ajayi. But again, like I said, don't forget it's a different group of players that played in Unity Cup. You know, some new players came in. Truth Ekong came in.
Yes.
Boniface Victor, of course, came in. Some players pulled out due to personal reasons. Wabali, Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze as well.
Yeah.
So it's a good. I think we can say, okay, from this friendly, I have watched the 3 games. Because okay, there's some 3 or 4 players that can be brought into the Super Eagles in case there are injuries, there are problems, who can step into the big stage, especially that young man who had a great game in the Unity Cup, unfortunately had a
Benjamin Frederick,
and of course not forgetting Sadiq Umaru, Sadiq Ismail, I beg your pardon, from Remo Stars, who had a very good first game, but not too good second game in Unity Cup. But either way, come on, it's the early jitters. You can't get into the big stage and not have your ups and downs. He's going to learn, he's going to improve. So for me, about the coach, it's about the philosophy. I'm happy with what I saw with Madu Kokoe. We showed that we've got a second choice keeper. I for one, think it's better go by Wabali. I don't know. Let's not go into that argument.
No, we're actually going to go into it a little bit because someone said to me that I think it's about time Wabali gets a competition and in the national team. Do you stand that? Did you share that? Or do you share that opinion
Absolutely.
as well?
Even before, even at the AFCON, where he was on fire. I kept on saying our best keeper in Europe was Stanley, Madu Kokoe, and Jojo Kocha agreed with me. He plays in one of the top leagues in Europe, in Udinese, in the Italian Serie A. Wabali was, just keeper who are just very lucky. They are just there, you're winning games, It doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. I told them when he was going to be tested big time, we'll see that he's still a work in progress. He's not there yet. We saw that in the final of the AFCON. And we saw some little mistake again in the Unity Cup where, here and there. He's a work in progress. I don't think...
Do you think it's a pressure of Wabali, being
I think the fans...
people's favorite and then him going into it?
Exactly. We should allow the man learn. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. Absolutely. Forget about the AFCON. When we talk about Super Eagles goalkeepers of those days, the Keishoro Muzi, the Vincent Yamas, they are absolutely exceptional, the best in Africa. Can we say that from Wabali? The answer is no. For me, I still think, I don't know whether everybody agrees with me, that Madu Kokoe is a better goalkeeper than he is. But unfortunately, like I said, you don't change your winning team, which is why the coach will stick to Wabali, because it's working at the moment. We are winning games, and if it's not broken, don't fix it.
All right, quickly. Nigeria, do you think Nigeria will make it out of this group in 2 seconds? It's not possible. Right?
It's
World Cup qualifier group, yes.
Come on, it's going to be like a camel going to the eye of the needle. It's going to be very difficult. But one thing I love about Risha is that he believes. He believes he can. So it's one game at a time. Just win your games and wait to see what happens. Don't forget, there's still a backroom route through the playoff. We can finish second and go play in the playoff against some team in Comabo and maybe just sneak through. But at the end of the day, it's just about beating that's my policy. Beat what's said before. You one game at a time, win your games, and let's see what happens next.
All right, just 2 games left there, or they're about to be played in the World Cup qualifiers. And then we hope that Nigeria will pick the tickets in clean slate and not wait for the playoffs. Well, thank you so much, Nonso, for coming on the show this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
All right, indeed. That's our package on KAKAKI Sports. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Simbi Shima. Up next is the social intervention segment. Stay tuned.